fans, and here we are in the Roger Creative Centre for an exciting and explosive rant today. Today I'm going to talk about this fuel crisis. Is it the fault of? Has it got anything to do with? Actually, might be in a way. Get back to that later. But the Roger was astonished, absolutely astonished, that not for the first time, not for the second time, not for the third time, the mindless muppets of the world, of this country, were blatantly reacting to propaganda as though it was facts because a talking box told them to, and went out and caused a problem they didn't need to cause. They fell right into the government's trap for the third time. Remember the first lie? Oh, we're leaving Europe. Well, we haven't left Europe, have we? Why is it we don't control our borders? Why is it we don't control our fishing? Why is it we don't have any control of North Sea oil and gas? Why is it that we can't resume tin mining and coal mining and steel mining, of which we have a lot in this country? Why is it that we can't control immigration? Why is it that we can't control our employment law? Why is it we can't control our education? Because it's all controlled by Europe. We're still in. And then, of course, that was the first one. Then, of course, the second one was this, and we all know about that, so we're not going to go into that. And the third one is this nonsense. The Rog was just staggered, absolutely staggered. I thought, I'll go out and put some petrol in the car. I don't watch the propaganda broadcast. I thought, I need 10 quid's worth of petrol in the car because that's only buy what I use. And I'm coming around, and every petrol station was closed, bar one. And the queue went out of the forecourt, down the side road, into the main road, blocking the main road. I thought, what are these imbeciles doing? And then someone said to me, the TV said that, there's likely to be a fuel shortage because of a lack of HGV drivers. I thought, alright, so I watched this story, I watched it, and I read the written propaganda. And it's just nonsense. It's half the story. Again, it's a partisan view. Half the story. And these mindless idiots, you go, the screen said so, I must go and do this. They're idiots. These people are retarded. What the hell are they doing? How is this the attitude of a sentient species? How is this the action of mature people? How is it? It's adolescent, me, self. Oh, I'm in fear, I must go and get everything I can because I don't need it all. But I'm going to have it all anyway. What the hell is wrong with us? What the hell is wrong with us? Retarded, adolescent, puerile pieces of scum. That's what we've become. Controlled by bloody talking boxes. I can't believe it. An adult would have gone to the petrol station and bought less petrol because they would have cut all unessential journeys out so that the people who need it, like the elderly, the infirm, the emergency services, the people who deliver food to the sick and the elderly, all those people, air ambulance, all those people, the police, all those people, the people who empty the bins, bin lorries, those people, a mature person would have bought less and cut out unessential journeys so that the masses who need it can get it while it's still there. Really pisses me off, this does. This stupid, childish, bloody obsession with, I've got to obey the screens. 2 fingers to the damn screens. Play straight in the government's hand. The government wanted this. Remember when this started? When this started? They did exactly the same thing. They came on, they lied and said there'll be food shortages because of SARS 2. Are you joking? 90% of the population can't catch the damn thing. And so what happens the next day? All the minus adolescent retards are buying all the bloody toilet roll in the world. What the hell? Played straight to them. So they got the boost in the economy they wanted. Then they put the vast majority of the workforce in a legal furlough scheme, which is a disciplinary system. It's a disciplinary system. That's why you got 70%, because you were being disciplined. You were doing something wrong. They wanted you to comply. You did that, which we had no choice in, because that scum that calls themselves the government, who are not democratic and are not humane. And then what happens? Then they give us the leaving EU nonsense, which we lie. And now they need to make a boost in the economy again, as people come back to work. So there is an economy to come back to. So what do? They think we're going to play these mindless puppets and pretend that there's going to be a mass shortage of fuel because of a lack of drivers from Eastern Europe, which isn't true. Isn't true. That's half the story. I'll tell you what the damn story is. For decades, the government of this country has been taking backhanders from the EU to force and coerce haulage companies in this country to use Eastern European drivers, what is basically slave labour. Basically sweatshop labour. They get paid less than minimum wage, they're exempt from the Human Rights Act, and they are forced to work 10 to 14 hour days in trucks that aren't suitable for what they're doing. They certainly don't meet the recommendations in this country or in Western Europe, and they do it because it's cheap and they can exploit people. That's the damn truth. And because the government had to pretend that we left Europe, they had to change the requirements for coming into this country. It meant that most of them couldn't meet them. And so they went away. If the government hadn't made it so difficult for haulage companies to get Western and British drivers in the first place, it never would have happened. It did it on purpose, all for this, backhanders. And so now the situation isn't as bad as they're saying, because it's partisan propaganda. They want you to panic, they want you to live in fear, they want you to buy too much, because then they can turn around and say, well, if you'd all been working at home, there wouldn't have been anybody, it wouldn't have been a problem. Or if you'd all had electric cars, there wouldn't have been a problem. And all this nonsense. Walk straight into the trap. Unbelievable. And now people who really need to get around can't do it because of a selfless, brain-dead mass who are controlled by propaganda screens who ask for no evidence and ask no questions. That's what really annoys me. What the hell happened to us? Seriously. Anywho, as you may notice, there is no Tropicana fruit juice today because I'm saving the last bottle. But I have got a bottle of distilled water, so I'm still a complete lunatic. Anyhow, yes, as usual, just remember, it's not reality. It's YouTube.